I want to stress to each one of us here that we all have a responsibility to use the opportunities that we have to fight for those who don't.
I implore you to walk out here today with the idea that you want to be the change that society needs. Take those first steps and become a better person and speak out for what's right.
Good evening, class of 2020, parents, special guests, and friends. Welcome to the virtual commencement proceedings of the Victory Early College High School, class of 2020. We all acknowledge that these are unprecedented times, but we remain committed to making this a very special occasion and one to remember by our graduates. I have been honored to be your principal, and I'm very proud of your resilience and commitment to your future by taking your education seriously and earning your high school diploma. At this time, we will pause for the pledge to our flags and the playing of the national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
There are a number of individuals who have worked very hard to make this day a special one for our graduates. I will acknowledge them at this time. Dr. LaTanya M. Goffney, Superintendent of Schools. Mr. Paul Shanklin, School Board President. Ms. Rose Avalos, Vice President. Ms. Connie Esparza, Secretary. Dr. Kimberly Booker, Assistant Secretary. Dr. Viola Garcia, Board Member. Mr. Randy Bates Jr., Board Member. Mr. Steve Meade, Board Member. The entire executive leadership team, our senior class sponsors, Victory Early College High School Assistant Principal, Counselor, and all campus staff members. Thank you for the hard work in helping us get here today. Graduates, we recognize that you would not be here without your help and the support of your parents. And we recognize the parents of all graduating seniors and thank each of you for the support you have given to your child and to our school. Today, we are honored to have some of our graduating seniors who have enlisted in one of the military branches or who have been accepted into one of the military academies. It is my honor to recognize each of you and thank you for your commitment to our country. We have many students who have worked very hard to earn one or more scholarships. Students, the work you have done to support your education has paid off. We are proud to report that this class has earned over $5.5 million. It is always an honor and pleasure to recognize your moments of celebration. Congratulations again. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the class of 2020's Salutatorian, followed by the Valedictorian, greetings from special guests, and I will return with my address to the class of 2020.
Hey y'all, it's good to see you all again. Thanks for having me up here. Happy to see you guys' faces again. It's been a long time. I just want to start off by saying thank you to my mom, my dad, my sisters, and all you guys out here who helped make my high school experience a memorable one. I did it all with you guys in mind. Now to the speech. I recall in our youth, we all had big dreams, becoming astronauts and authors, world leaders, or even the next president of the United States. But somewhere along the line, we lost hope, or became discouraged that any of those dreams could someday come true. So we became unsure of what we wanted to do in life, uncertain that we could become anything at all. We forgot what it was to believe in ourselves. So I think it's important, especially now more than ever, to regain our confidence in our ability to shape the world around us. Because I know that many of us here don't believe we can make a difference. We don't believe it because no one ever truly made us believe it. We don't see people like us in positions of leadership, and when we do see others do better than us, we think to ourselves, well, if I'm not the best, then I might as well stop trying. But we've got to stop thinking that life is a zero-sum game. I know this is going to sound weird, but we as a society need to really appreciate mediocrity a whole lot more. It seems as only the rich billionaires and groundbreaking scientific theorists get all the attention. And so we think that if we're not dedicating our life to doing something crazy like that, then we aren't really amounting to anything at all. But we've got to get out of that. There are a number of jobs neglected by our community too often because nobody has ever made it really seem cool to become, say for instance, a state senator. And yet the participation of our community in these careers is vital for our protection. I haven't ever heard any of my friends say that they want to become politicians because politicians, well, usually get a bad rap. But there isn't anything inherently bad about becoming a politician. It's just that most of the times these jobs are filled with people who are morally corrupt. Which is why it's all the more important that we be the generation who changes that. Maybe it's also that many of us don't believe ourselves capable of making any use of such a career because we are conditioned to believe that change and reform can't come from any of us. But as we have seen from recent events, that is absolutely not true. So I urge you guys that in whatever you do in life, you make sure that you're giving back to your community. Because we could sure use your help. If it's becoming a state legislature yourself or becoming a millionaire and using your wealth to organize interest groups that will lobby for legislature that will benefit us, or even if it's just making sure that you're buying from local businesses here on Victory Drive instead of eating out at corporate restaurants to donate to causes that are against our community, there are so many ways that you can give back. Because if we want to get out of this situation that we're in, we've got to get our people in positions of power. So, if you're unsure about what you want to do in life and you've been considering getting into public service, but you've been hesitant because you lack confidence in your own abilities and you've been looking for somebody to help you believe in yourself, this is me telling you that you can do it. And we need you now more than ever. But I also want to extend this call to everyone else. Regardless of what career you're getting into, I want to stress to each one of us here that we all have a responsibility to use the opportunities that we have to fight for those who don't. I remember when I was a little bit younger, I used to want to live forever. I had this burning desire to fix every problem there was in the world, and so I knew I was going to need a lot of time if I wanted to work on everything. But then one day it hit me. I don't have to live forever if I'm not the only one working to fix everything. If I can have even just one classroom full of people, one working on reforming redistricting laws, and another one working on redlining practices and education reform, and another on environmental issues and economic development of third world countries, then I wouldn't need hundreds of years to get to everything. So I made it one of my newer goals in life to inspire more people to change the world, because I knew I could sure use all the help I could get. And remember, you all have a little bit of I want to save the world in you. That's why you're here, and that's why you're going to college. And I want you to know that it's okay if you only save one person. And it's okay if that person is you. And if you also don't believe me of just how capable you are of being someone who can change the world, let me share a story with you. In 1921, a psychologist in California conducted the biggest study of highly gifted children ever undertaken. He chose some couple thousand gifted children with high IQs and followed them for almost 60 years. And what he found was somewhat startling. The highly gifted kids in the study weren't much more likely to become prominent intellectuals more than normal kids. Most of the children in the study became successful enough, bankers and doctors and lawyers and what have you, but almost none of them turned out to be truly geniuses. And they found out that there was little correlation between a really high IQ and making a significant contribution to the world. Which is why I always say that it doesn't matter how smart you think you are. There is always nothing more important in life than believing in yourself. When I look at some of the most successful people in the world, I don't see much of a difference in how intelligent we all are to them. They don't have any secret, hidden talents that make them better than anyone else. No. All they have is confidence in themselves that they actually know what they're doing. So there's nothing stopping us from being who we want to be other than our own confidence in our own abilities. The only thing you are limited by is the perception of yourself. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything. So just believe in yourself. I know it may not be easy, but it's the only chance we got. So let's make it a goal to remind ourselves that we too can change the world, and that we don't need to make Albert Einstein level discoveries to do so. We had a lot of good times here at Victory. From the time that we argued for days if Marcus was still alive, or getting bullied by Miss Nguyen in chemistry class, or to the time someone made Kevin an Instagram page and we went around taking pictures of him. But now it's time to get ready for our own new individual journeys. The times invite us. And remember that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. So let's go out there tomorrow and do just that. After all, the planet feels so small with us on it. Thank you.
I would like to first welcome the Aldine ISD school board members, family, friends, and distinguished guests. Thank you all for being in attendance on this memorable day. For today, we gathered to commemorate the Victory Class of 2020. A group of 85 students. I bet the parents are very thankful for that since they don't have to stay here for 5 hours. It is my honor to be this class salutatorian. And to explain what a salutatorian is, I turn to urbandictionary.com. A salutatorian is a person who just missed being valedictorian by a few GPA points. Regardless of that definition, I am honored to be here in front of you today, celebrating the achievement we all share of graduating from Victory Early College High School. You did it, you're here. Not everyone gets to this point, so take a second to look around and feel this moment. Embrace it because you earned it. Graduates, the day we looked forward for years has arrived. The end of our high school chapter. That's right, no more summer reading, but no until Miss Kelly, Miss Graham, or Miss Daniels. Looking back to freshman year, a noticeable change is evident, for we all came a long way, both individually and as a class. August 22nd, 2016 marked the beginning of our journey at Victory. A journey filled with unexpected twists and turns that allowed us to become closer and build memories that we will carry with us for a lifetime. Now let's gaze back to all the lunches we spent out in the pods enjoying a break from the challenging classes, or racing down the hallway to save your favorite table. To all the friends we made along the way, like George, Nemo, Josue, Zalali, Adriana, and especially Terry. The teachers who helped us expand our minds and think critically to cultivate our minds as functioning members of society. To the memories we made in class, like reciting Romeo and Juliet in OG Kelly's class. To the infinite Poljo and Marble talks in Miss Jeffrey's class. To the enlightening conversations in Mr. Frederick's class about topics I can't seem to remember right now at this point, but who I feel bad for because he had to teach us both in freshman and junior year. To the very heated debates in Mr. Dorsey's class. To the 3 dreadful miles we had to run in Coach Gatson's class. To crunching in a summer's load of summer reading the week before it was due. To hearing Miss Kirby's life stories. To the fun lab reports in Miss DeMonte's class. To when we went to Pleasure Pier, I remember we had an assignment attached to it 10 minutes before we left. To watching Black Panther and understanding its significance. To all the events held outside where we got to de-stress and get free stuff. To all the other memories we made together, I'm glad I was able to get to meet all of you. Thank you all for both present and absent for having an impact on our life. As we grow into the rational thinkers we are today, we've made several mistakes along the way. But to quote the great street poet Kanye West, no, you're not perfect, but you're not your mistakes. We did not focus on these obstacles and misdirection. Instead, we used them to pivot our lives towards new goals and achieve growth because of it. There is no doubt we are a unique class that we'll remember for ages to come. Class of 2020, we knew we were special, but who would have thought we would have remembered by everyone as a class who survived the pandemic and achieved their last semester despite the fear and grand confusion. It shows we are resilient and will not be torn down. Take this experience and apply it to your lives, as I know many of you will do great things to change society and the world for the better. Now, I know we missed a semester of our senior year and all the activities we had planned for it: prom, senior signing day, senior week, and even Lone Star graduation. As I'm saying this, I begin to sadden all over again. However, these events do not take away from our significant achievement of not only graduating from victory, but surviving a current pandemic, global recession, and even killer bees. As we know, 2020 has been a non-stop surprise that has placed many adversities in our lives. However, there is one moment that has gained traction in our society, and it's finally being taken with seriousness. That's right, Black lives do matter. My condolences go to the family of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, and the countless more that face injustices. I pray that they have the strength during these horrible times. The magnitude of the deaths has rung through the ears of the entire world, exposing the broken justice system that we share. It is not fair, it is not right, and it has to change. Victory, students, friends, family, and society. I implore you to walk out here today with the idea that you want to be the change that society needs. Take those first steps and become a better person and speak out for what's right. We must fight. We have faced failure before, but we know that without failure, there would be no success. So I know we are capable of creating a better tomorrow. Lastly, I would like to personally thank my family for always being present throughout my life, providing support in any way possible. Mom and Dad, gracias por todos los sacrificios que han hecho para mí, que yo llegué a este momento. Sé que no fue fácil, pero los hicimos juntos. Los amo. To translate for the people who didn't understand, Mom and Dad, thank you for all your sacrifices to get me to this moment. We did it together, and I love you. To my brother, sister, and 3 cousins, who are basically my siblings, all of you were instrumental in helping me shape who I am today, always checking on me to make sure I am okay and striving to succeed. To the friendships that made the journey much more special. As well, I would like to thank everyone who helped me arrive at this moment. That's right, just a couple of GPA points away from the first. For no one does anything alone. Now class, I want you to strive to be the best version of yourself. Live life because you are a Viking and will always be a Viking. Congratulations to the Victory Class of 2020.
Congratulations to the most outstanding class graduating in 2020, the Aldine Independent School District High School seniors. What a pleasure to have the opportunity to greet you and your parents and all of your special guests, understanding what a journey you have taken. Starting from the early years of your education, you now have completed a milestone. But we come to this time in a significant moment in history in the United States of America, something that many of us have never seen. The COVID-19 tragedy just requires us to be stronger than we've ever been. I know that you as graduates are standing strong, committed to serving this nation. However you continue your service, however you continue your life as you leave the Aldine Independent School District High Schools, I know that you will take the values, not only of your parents, but what you've learned in the school and as well in the nation. My challenge to you, be tree shakers and mountain climbers. Make a difference in the lives of others. And the most important service that you can give is a service that you give in helping others. Again, congratulations to the 2020 class of outstanding Aldine Independent School District seniors. May your journey in life continue to be the very best, and may you reach the mountaintop of success.
Hey everybody, Adrian Garcia, County Commissioner of Precinct 2, of which the phenomenal community of Aldine is a part of. I am so proud and honored to be able to congratulate the class of 2020 of all of the Aldine high schools that are graduating in this season. And I'll tell you, I hate having to do this by video, but you know what? We're all in it together. And it is not the reflection of this process, the way we're doing it these days. It's a reflection of all of your successes in your past years. But also remember that it's not the graduation stage that's most important. It's the fact that you are now about to step onto a world stage. You have been empowered by your teachers with knowledge and information. Embrace it, allow it to spread your wings so that you can soar to great heights, but then come back to your community and continue to be a great role model to other young people in the Aldine area. We need you. We need your example. We need your stories. We need others to know that they can aspire to be you. And so with that, I'll just say that until we can shake hands and hug each other and high five, I just want to say to you that I am so proud of your success. I wish you all the best. But again, never forget where you come from. Congratulations and God bless.
Good evening, Victory graduates of 2020. Emily Miranda, an incoming 9th grade student at Victory, shared a quote that she lives by daily during our recent Summer Bridge program. It simply says, "Falling down is an accident, but staying down is a choice." I found this profound in that she recognizes the importance of the choices we make daily. Do we fall? Yes. At one time or another, we all have fallen, or sometimes in the future, we will experience failure. The good news is that every time we fall, it provides a new opportunity, but choosing to stay down is failure. There are many people that experience failure before they experience success. We have all heard of Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. Steve Jobs dropped out of college just after 6 months, and for a while was so poor that he had to sleep on friends' floors, return Coke bottles for money, and go to the local temple for free meals. At the age of 30, he was unceremoniously removed from the company he founded, but returned to Apple 12 years later and led it to huge global success. He remarks, "I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life." Then there is Oprah Winfrey, a woman who endured a childhood of poverty and abuse. She also suffered numerous setbacks in her early career. She was fired from her job as a reporter because her bosses said she was unfit for TV. She lost her job as a news anchor and was demoted to morning TV. That demotion, however, led her to finding her voice. She became a hugely popular daytime TV host and a millionaire at the age of 32. As well as being an acclaimed actress, Winfrey also owns her own TV channel, OWN, and was named by Life magazine as the most influential woman of her generation. Torre, who managed the New York Yankees to 4 World Series titles and 6 pennants, was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. At the induction ceremony, Torre talked about how he'd been fired as a major league manager 3 different times from the New York Mets, Atlanta Braves, and St. Louis Cardinals before he was given the opportunity to manage the Yankees. He says, after he was fired by the Braves, he was very depressed, but he soon realized the only way he was going to learn is by experiencing setbacks. He told the audience that it's important to learn from failures, then get yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on. After 12 seasons as Yankees manager and 3 with the Los Angeles Dodgers, he now is Major League Baseball's Executive Vice President of Baseball Operations. And finally, you can't talk about success after failure without speaking about Michael Jordan. It's hard to believe that the man commonly lauded as the best basketball player of all times was actually cut from his high school basketball team. Luckily, Jordan didn't let his setbacks stop him from playing the game. And as he once stated in a famous ad, I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. On 26 occasions, I have been entrusted to take the game-winning shot, and I miss. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Victory has experienced setbacks. The setback of COVID-19 affected your senior year. Through this experience, we have learned that life is unpredictable, and we must adjust and readjust on a daily basis. Through those setbacks, we still ranked in U.S. News World Report as the 287th best high school in the nation out of 24,000 high schools. And we still ranked 44 in Texas out of 3,240 high schools, and the 13th best high school in Houston, Texas, and the Texas metro area high schools. As a senior class, you collectively earned $5,567,167. Not only did you secure scholarships, but I'm proud to announce through our partnership with Lone Star College, 81% of you graduated May 8th, 2020 with an associate's degree in either the arts or science. However, all Victory graduates earned at least 20 college hours. Additionally, all graduates that sit before me have been accepted to a 2 or 4-year university or the military. Although we did not enjoy many of the senior activities you had planned, you made the senior parade a success. You made senior signing day a success. And now you make 2020 graduation a success. This evening, I challenge you to continue channeling failure into success. Acknowledge your errors and accept full responsibility for your role in your outcomes. This can be uncomfortable at times, but until you admit, I messed up, you are not ready to change. Reflecting on past failures and mistakes can be productive. What went wrong? What could I do better next time? What did I learn from this? Next, make a plan. This will help you avoid making the same mistake again. Be detailed, but remain flexible, since sometimes a plan may need to change. Keep in mind, what works for one person may not work for you. Finally, remember mistakes are little choices that sometimes lead to failure. Pay attention to your failures, no matter how big or small they may seem. Recognize that each mistake can be an opportunity to build mental muscle and become a better you. Failure is fundamental, and it is an element of success. If you can shift your perspective and look at failure not as something to be ashamed of, but something valuable, you can begin to understand that it's through failure that we truly learn to succeed. Henry Ford said, "The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing." We are products of our past, but we do not have to let our mistakes define us. Barack Obama says, "Making your mark on the world is hard. It takes patience, it takes commitment, and it comes with plenty of failure along the way." The real test is not whether you avoid this failure because you want. It's whether you let harden or shame you into inaction, or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere. In the words of Miley Cyrus, remember, there's always going to be another mountain. I'm always going to want to make it move. Always going to be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm going to have to lose. It ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's about the climb. So keep on moving. Keep climbing. Keep the faith, because it's all about the climb. Yes, it's all about the climb. Congratulations, Victory Class of 2020. I welcome you as you now become an alumnus of Victory Early College High School. I know each of you will become productive members of society in your own right. I salute you for a job well done. We are now ready for the presentation of the 2020 graduating class of Victory Early College High School, Class of 2020. Dr. Goffney, I'm honored to share with you that these seniors, members of the Class of 2020, have met the criteria to graduate. They have satisfied all requirements of Aldine Independent School District and the state of Texas, and are hereby entitled to be graduates of Victory Early College High School, Class of 2020, with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto.
To members of the graduating class of 2020, it is with great pride that I address you today as you complete your journey with Aldine ISD. Your families and your teachers, principals, coaches, and administrators have molded and guided you over the years, and I know they've inspired and prepared you to be the best version of yourselves. I've said it before, and I mean it even more today. The class of 2020 is going to be remembered forever. Your perseverance, your resilience, your hope, your passion, your tenacity, they cannot be forgotten. You've seen so much change this last year. A civil rights movement and a pandemic exposed issues and changed how we do business, interact with one another, and how we learn. It's safe to say the world we live in now is different. I encourage you not to stress about it. Don't give up. Take the attributes with you into the next chapter of your life, whatever that may be. It was difficult to make the call to not host an in-person ceremony, but safety had to be the number one priority. This will never make up for the face-to-face ceremony, but I do hope that you understand that your experience this year and the past 12 years before you are worth celebrating. You are worth celebrating. Now, to make it official, it gives me great pride to say these words again. I've heard from each of the high school principals, and they have shared a complete list of seniors, members of the class of 2020, that have met the criteria to graduate. These students have satisfied all requirements of the Aldine Independent School District in the state of Texas. I have shared with the Board of Trustees that I certify that the students who have met the requirements of graduation set forth by the Texas Education Agency and the Aldine Independent School District Board of Trustees are eligible to receive their diplomas and are hereby entitled to be graduates with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. Congratulations to the Aldine class of 2020.
The format for awarding diplomas to our graduates enables us to focus more individual attention on each member of the class of 2020 by allowing you to share in the recognition of the honors bestowed upon each of them. The first 13 students represent the top 15% of their class. Representing the top 5% are 4 students and are graduating magna cum laude with great honors and earned a double gold cord. The next 9 students represent the next 10% and earned a single gold card, signifying their cum laude status. Students who are members of the National Honor Society earned a white sash and blue and gold cards. All other cards indicate either membership in an organization, outstanding participation in a special program, or academic excellence. Students designated as a foundation with endorsement plan Graduate have completed specific curriculum requirements established by the state of Texas. We have proudly presented Victory Early College High School graduating class of 2020. Congratulations. Hello, graduating class of Victory Early College High School. I have a message that I want to leave with you. I'm so glad we had this time together. You did your best, and I'm so proud of you. Seems you just got started, and now before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Victory graduates, I am so proud of you, and as your principal, I bid you farewell. It's 6:45 and no buses have arrived. I'm looking around, there are no students to be found. I'm looking for the Vikings. The Vikings. It's 7 o'clock, straight on the dot. I'm down by the pond, there's no students to be found. The Vikings. The Vikings, still looking for the Vikings. The Vikings, still looking for the Vikings. The Vikings, still looking for the Vikings. The Vikings.